And now we have a legal practitioner who joins us via Skype. His name is Awo Ogim. Good morning, Mr. Awo Ogim, and welcome to the Newspaper Review.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you this morning, Barrister Awo.
Thank you.
Now, Barrister Awo, knowing the fact that you are a lawyer and we are talking about judicial autonomy currently, which has led to industrial action being taken by the Judicial Staff Union of Nigeria, leading to the collapse of the justice system. Nobody can go to court, and the prisons are filled to the brim. What is your take? How do you perceive this judicial battle that is being taken by Jusun?
First of all, Jusun is within their rights to press for their demands. This right is actually provided by the Constitution, Section 123, Sub 3 of the Constitution, which grants autonomy to the state judiciary to be able to make sure that revenues are to judiciary workers. And if this is not done, you recall that other states, other arms of government, executive, and the legislature have this autonomy. So if the judiciary is not enjoying this autonomy, they are within their right to embark on an industrial action to be able to press their demands. When this is not done, like we have in the country, it will cripple judicial activities in the country.
I was referring to Section 6 of the Constitution. The establishment of the judiciary, both the federal and state level in Section 6 of the Constitution, gave such autonomy. Why do we then have to wait or demand for judicial autonomy from the respective state's government?
I think that state governments most times want to boycott the provisions of the Constitution because it has to do with finance. We'll also agree with me that even you want to look at the local government autonomy, the state government will want to ignore those provisions of the Constitution because it has to do with finance. But the Constitution is supreme and its provisions are binding on the citizens of the country, which, of course, the governor has sworn to. So where there's an express provision in the Constitution for a matter to be implemented, the state governments have no right, or state governments have no right, to boycott the provisions of the Constitution. Rather, it's supposed to, uphold the Constitution upon which they swore at the time they took their oath of office.
Okay. Now, when you take a look at Nigeria justice system or the way government or governance is being executed, one of the critical factors that people take a look at is the implementation of the law. In the implementation of the law, the executive organ of government, because its primary responsibility, it has so much power in that regards. But how can the courts and the judiciary ensure or hold to account the executive organ of government to strictly follow the stipulations of the Constitution? I mean, what sort of consequence can be evoked against the state government if they don't follow the outlined provisions of the Constitution?
Okay, it's often said that the court's not a Father Christmas. What that means is that when there's an express right that has been provided, and then you don't invoke the powers of the court by bringing the matter before the court is handicapped. What that means is that there are civil liberty organizations, there are right activists who should bring this matter, to the knowledge of the court. If these matters are not for the court cannot advocate upon them.
Let me interrupt you briefly, Barrister.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Can't Jusun or the judiciary itself, can't they take the state executives to court?
They
like
can.
The judiciary
they can.
Taking the state governments to court?
Yes, they can. They can. The point I'm making is that until this matter is brought before a court of competent jurisdiction, adjudication will not be done upon. The court cannot impose themselves on matters that involve private individuals or maybe a group. So it behooves on these organizations, which are juristic persons in law, to approach the court for a redress. One of it is just like the strike action is just one of those ways. But I think that if they approach a court of competent jurisdiction, this matter will be resolved amicably.
Now, in your perspective, briefly, Barrister Awoogim, please tell us how has this strike and the denial of autonomy to the judiciary, how it has affected the delivery of justice in the country?
I could recall, for instance, in Akwa Ibom State, the court sessions were interrupted. We have, you know how these NLC union leaders, they operate. So they interrupted the court settings. And of course, that has stalled dispensing of justice. There are people whose application are pending for the court, and the whole court system has been stalled by this process. So I think it is the common man. When we say that the court is the hope of the common man, but where the court is not open and is not in session, the hope of the common man is completely dashed. So judicial activities across the country has been crippled as a result of the strike.
Okay, now the governors have set May Day, which should be May the 1st, or in the month of May, for both the governors and the JUSUN, including the judiciary, probably to have a roundtable talk on how to settle this amicably. Do you see a position whereby the provisions of the Constitution will hold sway, or are we expecting another directive from the state chief executives concerning the judicial autonomy?
First of all, it's political. Driving it to May Day to appeal to workers, since it's Workers' Day, it's political. But I don't think that should happen in our country, because you have a right, and then that right should be respected. Now, I'm talking about the Constitution. There is an express provisions by the Constitution. And again, there's an executive order that was signed by the president.
Yeah.
I think that the state government should not be political about this. They should just go ahead and implement, what the law says. Because Section 123 sub 1, this is an express provision that there should be judicial authority to which the head of the court should administer, finances that are accrued to this ministry. That is an express provision of the Constitution and should be respected by citizens of the country who were elected by the citizens of the country, and they have sworn on oath to uphold.
Okay, now before that, the executive order you just talked about is Executive Order 10, signed last year, where Mr. President was talking about even the local government fund with regards to the National Financial Intelligence Unit. But a lot of persons have equally said that the Executive Order 10 does not really hold sway, that it's within the jurisdiction of federal workers. It doesn't really apply to state workers because it's a different jurisdiction, and they cannot be held account, or the federal government cannot delve into matters unwholesomely within the domain of the state government. Is that what it is?
But my position is that that is erroneous. That is erroneous. We have what we call the exclusivity. That's like exclusive list. When a matter is an exclusive list and then is administered by the federal government, such a matter is binding by the court. My position will still be that where the state governors or state government refuses to implement this directive, first of all, we should know that there is an express provision in the Constitution. So the executive order is just to draw the attention of the state government of what has been expressly provided by the Constitution. So I think that governments refuse expressly to or implement provision of the Constitution, I think they should address, they should have put forward for a request.
Okay, lastly, before I let you go, Barrister Awoogim, please. Now, there is a saying that when politics and law knock on together, politics normally wins the day or have a superiority over law. How do you assess this with regards to the practice of democracy in our country?
Well, my position is that the law is supreme. The law is supreme because the law at section 1 sub 1 says that the Constitution is supreme, and then every other law that is inconsistent with the provision of the Constitution is void extent of that inconsistency. So where there's an express provisions of the law, sentiment, politics, or whatever you think doesn't hold sway in the circumstance. So I think the law prevails.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Barrister Awoogim. I look forward to having you live discussion, because this is a topic that we should spend extensive time on in dissecting. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. And that's it on the newspaper review this morning. I am Oyimprie Krumale. But before we go, we would not forget to say happy 1-year anniversary to High Impact Television UK, where we continue to reach a vast majority of audience and watchers from other parts of the country. We in Nigeria says hello, that you're going to get the best from us. Join us in subsequently during the day for more celebrations as we bring you what's making the rounds in the news. Many thanks for watching. Join us again at 3 p.m. for news around the globe and primetime news, 9 p.m. around the globe. I'm Oyimprie Krumale. Have a splendid day.